It's been a year since HP launched the Victus 16, and just like HP intended, this aims to be the more affordable option as compared to the Omen gaming series of laptops, but without sacrificing too much. Well, to that end, we would say that HP has definitely achieved pretty great success with the Victus lineup. So this year, we have it with updated internals on both the AMD and Intel versions. So we are talking AMD Ryzen 6000 series and Intel 12th Gen. We have the former here, and to cut to the chase, this is still very much a great affordable gaming laptop, but do definitely pick the right one. So with that said, let's talk about this. Right off the bat, if you're familiar with the design of the Victus 16 from last year, well, this is pretty much exactly the same chassis, which in our opinion, it's a good thing for the most part. But it does also mean that some of the quibbles from last year haven't yet been addressed, since it's literally the same. Now for those of you who aren't familiar with it, well, the design itself is pretty conservative for the most part, and definitely more towards the minimalistic side of things. On the lid, you just get a distinct V, which is actually mirror polish, and you get the Victus naming on the bottom edge, and that's about it. Really clean, really simple, and it's certainly the way that the industry is moving towards, and we are all for it. One great thing about the Victus 16 in our opinion is the blue colorway. This is very likely taken from their Dragonfly series and we love it. It's nice to see something that's not black for once, but yet refreshing and not too eye-catching per se. If you're choosing between the two colors, black or blue, definitely go for blue. Now by all accounts however, this isn't a thin or light gaming laptop. There is a reason for that price after all. The chassis is pretty thick and it'll come in around 2.4 kilograms, so definitely something to take note. Now lift up the lid and you'll be greeted by a good enough display in all regards. It's a 16.1 inch IPS display with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 running at 144Hz. It has a max brightness of about 350 nits and does have 100% sRGB coverage. It's going to be great for content consumption, and thanks to the 144Hz refresh rate, it really does shine the best for gaming. If you would like to do some professional work, it does also at least have 100% sRGB coverage, so that's not too bad. The only thing we wish could have been implemented was going to a 16:10 aspect ratio instead of the standard 16:9 that we have here. Not only would you be able to get a larger display in the exact same chassis, but the slightly larger usable display area would have been great for productivity as well. Instead, you get a thick chin right below, which is a little bit of a waste. A slight bummer. Oh, and one other thing. It still does wobble quite a bit if you accidentally bump the table, though surprisingly, just typing away on it, it wouldn't move an inch. Not really an issue per se, but this was something people have noticed, and it's still here for sure. As for the webcam, it's just 720p, so you do get what you get, but even so, you do at least get a webcam, and your voice does come off pretty clean, so overall, it's definitely usable. For the speakers, you get a dual speaker audio system with the help of Bang & Olufsen, and they do sound pretty great. Nothing really much else to say about it, you get what you get. But now if we talk about the keyboard, this is probably one of the best things about this laptop. You get a full-size keyboard, including a full-size numpad, which is quite uncommon nowadays, and the keys themselves feel really great to type on. If you're someone who likes a much more tactile keyboard, this will deliver. Each press is just a little more crisp, and the actuation force just feels right. It performed great for typing and really great for gaming. The trackpad on the other hand isn't really that great. It tracks well and everything, no qualms about that, but the clicks really don't inspire. It just feels a little too mushy and just doesn't feel great. Compared to the keyboard, it is definitely the weaker of the two. Ports wise, there's just two Type A USB 3 ports on the right side, while the rest are on the left. There's the standard barrel plug connector, RJ45 Ethernet, HDMI 2.1, another Type A USB 3 port, a Type C port, a full-size SD card reader, and a 3.5mm combo jack. But now let's talk about specs, because this might be the most important bit for the Victus 16. And with this laptop, you get a choice between AMD or Intel, and we have the former here. For our model, it is sporting the AMD Ryzen 7 6800H, GeForce RTX 3050 with a 75W TGP, 16GB of DDR5 RAM, and half TB of PCIe Gen 4 SSD storage. As usual, we ran both creative workloads and gaming, and with the help of the Omen Gaming Hub, access to various profiles available. So with that all said, let's dive into the performance. In Cinebench R23, the Ryzen 7 was able to score above 10,000 and about 1450 for the multi-core and single-core respectively on the default profile, while changing it to performance will yield very similar results, and turning on the max fan will achieve a score of nearing 12,000 and about 1500 respectively. For DaVinci Resolve, rendering performance was basically real-time with our 4K 10-minute project no matter the profile, which isn't really surprising considering the fact that the default profile and performance profile only differ slightly in the maximum drawn wattage for the Ryzen 7 at 30 watts and 35 watts respectively. Now talking about gaming, we game at 1080p high settings, and the Ryzen 7 and RTX 3050 combo certainly performs great as per expected for a gaming laptop of this class. It's going to serve you well, especially for the most popular of titles and even some of the latest AAA ones. Honestly, it's a really good platform for games like Dota 2, Valorant and more, not just because it's more than powerful enough to power those games, but temperatures are well under control in the low 80 degrees Celsius, and a standard 16:9 aspect ratio might actually be preferable here. Battery life on the other hand isn't great. With that 70 Wh battery, you get roughly 5 hours of general usage at most, and that's about it. With everything said and done, this is a really well balanced laptop, especially considering the fact that it's meant to be an affordable and entry-level gaming laptop. HP has definitely prioritized the right things when it comes to the Victus lineup, and it really does offer good value, especially when compared to their higher-end Omen offerings. But as mentioned, there are a few SKUs available, so definitely choose the right one. For our model, this will cost roughly 1900 Singapore dollars, which isn't too bad per se. But if you'd opt for the Intel Core i7 model with the RTX 3060 instead, that will only set you back roughly 2300 Singapore dollars. So if you're able to fork out that bit more, it's going to be well worth it. But even so, for this model, it's been a really great experience, and for the Victus 16 as a whole, it's just a really great affordable entry-level gaming laptop that strikes a really nice balance. It's arguably one of the best in the segment. So if you're looking for such a laptop, this is definitely worth considering. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. If you'd like to, do check out the affiliate links as well. If you do, thanks for support. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Till the next one. See ya!